If you're looking to put on weight, let me tell you what I did to put on weight the healthy way. Keep watching to see what worked for me so you can finally break through the skinny plateau. In this video, I will show 5 crucial sections that helped me get to where I am today, including my personal struggles, the physical aspect, the nutritional aspect, the mental aspect, and also other healthy habits that helped me get there. So a little bit of my struggles growing up was I was a skinny kid in the family. Growing up, the activities stopped. I didn't really know how to work out, I didn't understand it, no one really pushed me to, so I stopped. And going into high school was when I started really eating unhealthy, getting anxious habits, and not really taking care of myself. And it didn't hit me until I was in college. Fast forward to college, I became skinny fat. So very skinny all around, the arms, the legs, but only fat in my stomach area. And it was very apparent. I was no longer able to wear crop tops, started feeling very insecure about myself, and I also realized that I was neglecting my health. I was making very poor choices in my nutrition. I was partying all the time, I was drinking a lot. I did not have the best relationship with food whatsoever. I was eating whatever I wanted, and that's when I knew I had to make a change. So although nutrition is important, the first thing I focused on was the physical. I started training with a coach who was actually my mentor, and he's the one who really introduced weight training into my life. And that made the whole difference in the world because I, one, was very afraid of getting bulky or super muscular. That was never my goal. But I realized after that I ended up falling in love with it because it helped me tone up and really shape my body to something that I was very happy in. I was doing 3 to 4 days to start, and honestly, that made a huge difference in my lifestyle. I no longer was feeling fatigued or low energy. I started seeing my body recompose itself. It helped me build a more defined physique, and it also helped me gain some of that weight, but it was in muscle mass, which was much better than just gaining it and eating whatever. So if your goal is to put on weight and not lose weight, ditch the cardio, ditch the overtraining, and really focus on strength training. Even if you're a beginner, start with body weight stuff. Make sure that your form is good. Make sure that you're breathing and that you're moving properly through each movement, engaging and targeting those muscles as you are weight training, and you will make some gains. If you're struggling with your fitness routine and need some guidance, I actually just launched my fitness program where I will be personally guiding you into some challenging and fun workouts that are going to help you build lean muscle mass. So join me, follow the link in the description below. So I started by doing 3 to 4 days of weight training, and now I have a whole routine where I am focusing about 3 to 4 days on strength training, but I'm also focusing on doing things such as Pilates or yoga or mobility. So I definitely just kind of take it as I go. Every week is pretty different for me. I don't do the same exact workouts all the time. I actually like to change it up. So I kind of see how my body feels that week, and depending on how I feel, I will split my week into like an upper body day where I hit like shoulders, chest, triceps, then back and biceps. Then once that's all sore, I like to focus on my legs, and I like to hit legs about 2 times a week. Sometimes I also do full body workouts, and again, in between that, I like to go to Pilates. I like to do my yoga to make sure that my mobility as well as my flexibility and my balance is all there. Overall, when it comes to weight training, it's really important when it comes to putting on weight because again, you just become stronger and you build that foundation. So the next and the most important part of this video is really focusing on the nutrition. So I did things kind of backwards, but nutrition should have been the first thing that I focused on. Reason being is that health is 80% what you eat, 20% of it is the movement and the fitness aspect. But definitely that 80% tells you how important it is. I didn't realize this until I was not seeing any progress, and that's when I knew I had to make a change. I spoke to my coach and he told me, hey, what are you eating? I let him know that as a Latina woman, I was eating cheese, a lot of carbs, I was not eating enough protein, and my nutrition was not good. Because I was skinny, I was eating whatever I wanted, and that wasn't really helping me out. I know this sounds crazy, but I had to completely cut out the bread, the tortillas, the cheese, the milk, and instead I started incorporating more vegetables and more protein into my diet. Throughout the week, I tried my best to really stay focused on having higher amounts of protein in my meals as well as vegetables. I had to focus on filling my plate with nutrient-dense food such as lean protein and veggies and healthy fats, things that were actually going to help me build that lean muscle mass. So I did. I even ditched the sugary juices. I never really drank soda a lot, but I completely cut out soda, and I was only drinking water for about a year. And wow, did I see the change physically. So I say all this to say that your nutrition is so important. Do your best to choose foods that are gonna help you build that lean muscle mass. Also, don't be afraid of the healthy fats. That includes like your avocado, your hemp seeds, your egg yolks, dark chocolate, honey, all that good stuff. You definitely need that in your nutrition. Another thing I highly advise, and something that I feel like we're not very conscious of, is avoiding seed oils. Seed oils are one of the worst things for your health. So I highly advise you stay away from seed oils, any fried foods, any sugary foods, because although you're trying to gain weight, the quality of the food matters. So you don't want to just eat whatever you want to eat and think that it's going to help you put on weight, because it'll probably help you put on weight, but it's going to be unhealthy weight. So definitely focus on foods that are nutrient dense, that are lean, that are filled with vitamins and minerals, and that's going to help you put on some healthy weight. You want to make sure that you're focusing on your water intake, because our bodies are made out of 60% water, which means we absolutely need it to survive. It's going to help your blood flow. It's going to help you be able to recover and repair those muscles that we are breaking down as we're working out. So definitely make sure that you're getting the appropriate amount of water that you need every day. And if you're struggling to get in all your meals every day, just make sure that you start portioning your meals. So if you don't want to eat 3 big meals, eat 5 and break them up into smaller meals. So have your 3 main meals and add 2 snacks. I personally have been doing 2 protein shakes a day because it helps me, 1, get my protein higher. It's a simple way for me to get in those 2 extra snacks. I know that many people recommend tracking or counting your calories, and if that works for you, that's awesome. But for myself, I just like to be a little bit more mindful, whether if it's making sure that I have a little bit more protein on my plate, or making sure that I'm eating a little bit more than I actually burn when I'm working out. Actually helps me be able to put on that healthy weight that I want. This leads me to the next point, the mental aspect of gaining healthy weight, or weight in general. So I know myself, being a woman, at first you think of putting on weight and it becomes something that's a little scary, a little frightening. And at first, you might not understand how it works. Like myself, I thought that putting on weight meant I was gonna get fatter or bigger or wider. And in reality, it was not like that. So I really had to trust the process. So I highly recommend you also trust the process, because it's a journey, my friends. It's not easy, but you have to trust the process, that both the physical and the nutrition go hand in hand with this, right? You can't separate one from the other. They go hand in hand. So as long as you're getting in your workouts, as long as you're eating healthy and also eating a little bit more than you're burning, is definitely going to help you out to gain that healthy weight. I've worked with a lot of women, and like I said, I know the majority of them, they fear eating, or they fear eating meat or protein because they think that they're going to get muscular or super bulky. But in reality, it's actually going to help us create that lean muscle mass, which and then makes us not look so bulky, but more toned, more defined. And the great thing about that is that if you remind yourself that it's a journey, you will learn to be patient with yourself and with the process. Another thing that we have to mentally remind ourselves is that we are all genetically different, meaning that where you put on weight is probably not where I put on weight. For me, if I gain weight, it all goes to the stomach. Some people are blessed to go straight into the booty or straight into the legs or the hips. So we have to remind ourselves that we are all different. We can't compare ourselves to other people. We just have to continue to put in the work and remind ourselves that we are doing the very best that we can in this very moment. As you're going through the journey of gaining weight, you will notice that there's going to be good days and there's going to be bad days. There's going to be days where you can look at yourself in the mirror and maybe not like what you see. But in that very moment, I highly encourage you to talk yourself up, to praise yourself for the work that you're putting in. Remind yourself how you're getting stronger every day. That has helped me on the days where I don't like if I'm bloated or if my weight is fluctuating. I like to remind myself that I am only getting stronger, that I'm only getting better, even if it's just 1% every day. That 1% will end up adding every single day, and by day 100, you'll be at 100%. Other healthy habits that have helped me gain weight the healthy way is definitely getting a good night's sleep. I recognize that when I do not have good sleep, 1, I can't perform the next day, 2, I'm extra fatigued, I'm extra sore, and 3, I just don't recover as well. So I highly recommend a good night's sleep. It's recommended, 7 to 8 hours. Getting your good night's sleep, and you will see that you will make positive progress in terms of gaining healthy weight. And on the days that I realize that I don't get good sleep, I try not to push my body. Those are actually the days that I'm like, okay, today's gonna be a yoga session instead, or a mobility session. But I try not to push my body on those days, because if you don't get good sleep and you're super sore, super tired the next day, you can actually get injured. So we want to avoid that at all costs and keep you safe. So make sure that you're getting your appropriate amount of sleep that will help you make that progress. Another habit that has helped me gain healthy weight is setting up times where I'm gonna eat. So I like to set that up on my phone as little alarms that remind me that even though I'm super busy in the morning, reminding me that I have to eat. I usually like to start with hard-boiled eggs, and then I like to go into a bigger breakfast after, but I love to break my fast with some eggs, some lean protein, because again, your body will absorb that the best. Then after that, I like to go into my snacks after I've eaten my second, and then I go into my lunch, another snack, and then my dinner. It reminds you to eat. It reminds you to not skip a meal, and that's super important when it comes to gaining weight. I really hope that this video served you and it helps you in your journey, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if this was helpful. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I would love to help out no matter what you're going through. Make sure that you hit that like button. It really helps me spread the message. Until next time, friends.